Hey guys, time now for the weekend preview in high school football. Tom Markowski, I'm Lauren Plant. We want to give you just a few games that we're looking forward to, week 8 of the high school football season. And here are some games that we're actually going to be featuring on either State Champs or on State Champs Extra Point. State Champs is on Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit, and State Champs Extra Point is on at 11:30 a.m. on WXYZ Channel 7. You'll see the highlights of these games and much, much more. We want to talk first about, got some title games, which is always exciting, and a big one for the KLAA title, that is Northville at Plymouth.
South Division title. I really didn't expect Plymouth to be here. I think as the season rolled along,
especially because they started. You know, when you lose that first game, you always like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
They played Utica Eisenhower,
right,
and they did not play well that game.
No.
And I'm thinking, well, is Eisenhower that good? And Eisenhower really, they're 4-3 now, so they're kind of up and down.
Very much.
But Plymouth has played very well. Maybe played their best game last week against Canton.
Yeah.
And so now they got to play another tough team in Northville. I had a chance to see Northville, and they're very good. You know, their offense is good. They have a great kicker. Of course, Matt Laddick is always full of punch and vigor, or whatever the terms are.
Exactly. We'll keep it clean.
Yeah.
But no question about it. I think both teams are coached well. Mike Sawchuk's been at Plymouth since year 2, I think.
Yeah, he's been there about almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And also, I think you have to look at this game as possibly a preview for the state playoffs. It's very possible both these teams will be in the same district. Whether they play the first round or not is yet to be determined. So this might be round 1 of this game.
Yeah, where are you leaning?
Gotta go with Northville.
I'll take Plymouth just because I really think this is a toss-up game.
It is.
And I think that both teams, we've seen them make adjustments, you know, and in the Livonia-Stevenson game, definitely against Canton, the Canton kind of got out to a big lead. I think both teams have the ability to come back, and they don't give up. So I think it might just come right down to the wire.
You know, that's a good point that, good coaching staffs do make those adjustments, and both those teams did that recently. Northville against Stevenson, I was there for that one, and they turned a 14-0 deficit into a 24-14 victory.
All right, well, let's talk about our main event on State Champs this week. Huge game in Muskegon. It's for the OK, was it Black title, and it's Muskegon Montashores Muskegon, 6-1. They just fell to Detroit Catholic Central in week 1. And again, they could have won that game, should have won that game. I even think the CC faithful will probably tell you that. They won't say it on the record. But Muskegon lost that, and of course, Muskegon Montashores has just rolled this season. Both teams putting up a ton of points, not giving up a ton of points. This is a real clash. And last year, Montashores won at Muskegon. So this is kind of maybe payback time for the Big Reds going to Montashores for this one. It's possible they could meet again, just like the Plymouth and Northville situation in the state playoffs. But talking to Shane Fairfield from Muskegon, he doesn't think he's going to be Division II. He thinks he's going to be Division III. That still has to play out. I think a lot depends on what other teams do. But back to this one, Muskegon's playing great football right now, and Montashores has been more consistent. Templeton, the quarterback, he's a little guy. He kind of gets lost behind the line there, and all of a sudden you try to find him, and he's gone. You know, and their linemen, I had a conversation with Fairfield. He's had so many linemen go down, but he really hasn't lost a beat because he has so much depth on the offensive and defensive lines. He's moving left guards to right guards, centers to tackle, moving people around, and they still got it done. And you like Muskegon? I like Muskegon. I think they have too much up front. I think that the play of the linemen are going to determine this game. Skill position players. And this sounds strange, but I think Montashores, a lot of people think Muskegon, with all the great athletes there, would have the advantage here. I think Montashores has the advantage there, but I think it's going to be one in the trenches, and I'll go with the Big Reds. Yeah, we'll see if Hunter Boersma can do a great job from Montashores. He's obviously going to get a lot of targets, I think, in this one. And Trovinger's back at quarterback. Yeah, exactly. So I think that, and he's done phenomenal. Yes, he's had a great year. Some people say he was injured a little bit, but he's back now. I think some of the guys even like him a little bit better than Tyree Jackson. So it's and that's saying a lot. So we'll see. I think I like Muskegon in this one too. The reason Tom thinks that they might drop to 3 and what he's hearing is, we always have that slew of Division I teams that are like 5 and 4. and Muskegon's like at down. 3 right now on the bottom of still being in 2. We think that's better overall. We'd love to see Muskegon and Orchard Lake St. Mary's do it again.
And also, and it opens it up a little bit in 2. We were discussing off camera that if you have Muskegon in 2, you have really a conglomerate of great Division II teams, and some that are going to get bounced out early that could win other divisions. And I think Muskegon would have a great chance of winning 3.
Yeah. All right. So I know this is a little longer than maybe sometimes, but there's a lot to talk about. So let's keep going. Mac Red title. Sterling Heights Stevenson at Macomb, Dakota.
And Dakota's kind of been up and down too. I think a lot of people were shocked, including me, when they lost to Romeo, but Romeo's a very good team.
Yeah. White team. So
yeah. Well, this is for the Red Division title. They're both tied for first, so there won't be any tie for this title like there are in some divisions.
Right.
And there's so much balance in the MAC Red this year. Last week, Utica Eisenhower, shutting down Chippewa Valley, defeating them 17-3, I believe the score was. And Stevenson has really kind of been that team that nobody really talked about early on. They talked about Dakota, talked about Chippewa Valley. And of course,
talked about Warren Mott.
Warren Mott with the big win over Dakota earlier. Nobody even talked about Stevenson.
They beat Warren Mott pretty good.
Oh, they handed home. I think it was 38-0. So, I don't know. I got to go with Dakota. I've been a Dakota supporter all year long. I know I maybe lean towards too much to Mike Giannoni's team, but they're playing at home. I know that didn't mean much when they played Romeo, but I got to go with Dakota.
I'll go with Stevenson just because, again, I think we're a toss-up, and they're playing so well. I think we talk about momentum. And boy, this seems like they've got it all right now, and they certainly don't care where the game's played at.
No,
so we'll see. But you know what? It's going to be, I think, going to be a great one. All right, we'll finish up real quick because the loser of this one is out of the playoffs. It's the Battle of Dearborn every year. Fortson at Dearborn.
It's always a funny game, and no matter where this game's played, it's always a full house.
Oh, yeah.
And you always get the Fortson fans treating Dearborn High like their little brother. They're like they cannot. I'm gonna swat everything you put up into the basket. It's going to be on the roof someplace. But Dearborn has played pretty well this year. This is not. And if Dearborn's going to get them, this is a good time to get them. This is not a great Fortson team, so I'm going to pick an upset. I'm going to go with Dearborn.
And Dearborn was another team that did not start off well, so you instantly count them out.
Right.
And they have played better. And Fortson started off great.
They played well last week against Robichaud.
They did.
That was a big win for them. When we were on the radio show and I noticed that score, and they got them by like 16. And I was real surprised. Maybe they're finding themselves late in the season, the Tractors. So.
All right. I'm with Tractor Nation. I'll stick with Fortson. He'll go for the Pioneers. We'll see how it works out. But that has been the preview. Make sure you watch all the highlights of all the games we've talked about and much, much more Sunday at 9 a.m. on State Champs on Fox Sports Detroit and at 11:30 on WXYZ Channel 7, State Champs Extra Point. See you then. We'll see how he did.